last May, a developer, an app developer in Vietnam, created something known as Flappy Bird. It is supposedly one of the worst games imaginable. It's very, very simple and hard at the same time, and I'll explain why in a second. But it became very, very popular. More than 50 million people downloaded this game, and the developer, his name is Dong Nguyen, made up to $50,000 a day at a certain period of time when it was really, really popular. Now, he decided to pull this app. It's no longer available on iTunes or in the Google store, and people are wondering why. What's going on? Well, it turns out that he was concerned about it ruining his life, okay? Probably because he was getting a lot of criticism for what the game really was. So let me read to you what the game was. The entire game consists of tapping the screen repeatedly in order to pilot said bird through the gaps between a series of pipes that look like they were ripped straight from the original Super Mario Brothers. Touch one, and the bird drops dead and does a beak plant. Game over. So apparently, even though the game is simplistic in nature, it's actually really, really difficult to get the bird to go through the little gaps. So it says that it sounds easy right up until you try it, unless you're marvelously gifted. You're
gifted at what? At Flappy Bird? Okay, anyway.
You're likely to smack into the first pipe at least a dozen times before you achieve even a modest score of 1. And then you're likely to do it a dozen more times before you get 2. Things do not get easier from there. You can waste days without reaching double digits. You can waste weeks without topping 25. So people were frustrated with the game. It looked really, really cheap. It was too simplistic, and that's all the game is. There aren't different levels. There aren't certain prizes you win. So people were just talking shit about it, basically.
Okay, 2 things to discuss. 1, why it was popular in the first place, and 2, why do we think this guy actually shut it down? So we bring on a star of Nerd Alert, Kim Horcher, otherwise known as Scorcher, to tell us, A, have you played Flappy Bird before it was taken out of service?
I've played very similar games because it's not really a new mechanic.
But not a new mechanic.
It's not a new mechanic at all. It's much like this older game called Copter, this other game a couple years ago called Pew Pew. These are both Flash games. And now there's a ton of clones at the top of the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Let me address that for 1 second. So a bunch of people who work in security are saying that you should not download these clones because the majority of them contain malware. So just a little warning to you guys.
Yeah, and then of course everybody's doing Flappy something, Flappy plane, Flappy, etc. You know, so you get the point. So Kim, why? Why do people like? Why
is
do
it
50
popular?
million people download this thing?
My best guess is because it's so stupid and simplistic, and you fly into things and you die over and over. A lot of mobile games, the factor behind them is that they're so compulsive, and you get this feeling like this fucking game. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna be the master of this game. It can't beat me. And people keep trying, and they keep dying, and it's just like. There have been a lot of tweets about people being angry and frustrated and love it, hate it, and as well as really hilarious app reviews about it ruining their lives. It's kind of gotten out of control.
We live in a strange world where there's angry tweets about Flappy Bird.
I don't know how I feel about this story. I feel like I'm going through an emotional roller coaster. Yeah.
Over this story?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because here's some young dude who created the cheapest looking game on the planet, and at some point he was making $50,000 a day. Right? What am I doing with my life? I'm sitting here talking about a guy making $50,000 a day. That's what I'm doing.
Jesus, it's $50,000 a day.
No. Are you not angry about that though?
No, I'm not angry. Bless his heart. No, am I slightly bitter? Sure, a little.
And then he takes it down, and he said that it was ruining his life or whatever. He can't take it anymore. He spoke to Forbes, and Forbes asked him okay, dude, you were making a ton of money. Why did you really take this down? And he said that it was messing with his simplistic life. And then he also said that he was concerned about people getting addicted to it.
Come on, dude, you're crazy. Okay, so first of all, I want to go back to Kim because I liked the internal thinking in her head, I gotta beat this game, right? And I think you're definitely onto something that is simple. Like people like me, I don't play video games anymore because I feel like if I haven't been playing it the last 20 years, if I sit down with anybody, they're gonna if it's like a fighting game, they're gonna snap my neck in a second and a half, right? Like games are so complicated now that if you don't know the triple backflip, you're an idiot. And so this is, I'm like, oh, I can do this, right? He didn't take it down because he's concerned people are addicted to it.
No.
No way. Unless he's like super strange. So there's some other reason, and it's because he was worried that it was going to negatively affect him, but I can't quite figure out how.
Well,
if he's really worried about the spotlight and stuff, dude, at $50,000 a day, just take the spotlight a couple more days. And remember, you can't get the game anymore. You can't download it anymore. But the people who already have it, you can keep playing it and he still gets paid on that. Maybe it's a genius marketing move because then it gets everybody to talk about it, and I can't wait for the next game that's going to come out from Dong. Right? And so people keep spending money on and time on this, and then they feel like it's more precious. Oh, I can't download it anymore, and I've got one of them. I'm gonna keep playing.
Was anyone ever lucky enough to play with Dong?
Oh. That ain't right. That ain't right.